In the heart of the highly populated Kowloon Peninsula lies Kai Tak Airport, for more than 60 years Hong Kong's unique international gateway. Just 1 year after the handover of the territory of Hong Kong from Britain to China, another major handover is taking place. In July 1998, Kai Tak Airport ceases to exist and the new airport at Chek Lap Kok is being opened. In the final weeks before the closure of Kai Tak, the people of Hong Kong have turned out in large numbers with their cameras and their children to capture the last few glimpses of the airport that has meant so much to Hong Kong for half a century. In 1925, Kai Tak was a reclamation area designed by developers Dr. Kai and Mr. Tak to be a new garden city on the tip of Kowloon. Unfortunately for these two gentlemen, their undertaking was going slowly, so they were only too pleased when the large flat area of reclaimed land was sought after first by a flying club and later by the military as a place to land their aircraft. The first commercial flight to operate into Kai Tak was an Imperial Airways machine in 1936, carrying mail and a single passenger from England. Thereafter, Kai Tak was used for land planes, whilst the Pan Am Clippers and Imperial Airways seaplanes landed beside the airport in Kowloon Bay. Before the Second World War, these pioneer airlines, together with the China National Aviation Corporation, were all running scheduled services out of Kai Tak. After the war, in 1958, a new 8,000-foot runway was built out into the bay, and this was further extended in the early 1970s to take the new generation of jet aircraft. Surrounded by hills and dominated by the peak called Lion Rock, it is amazing that the world's largest cargo airport and third largest passenger airport operates from just one runway. Just as one large aircraft begins its takeoff roll on runway 13, another aircraft is already approaching low over Kowloon to land on the same runway. The landing on runway 13 is certainly unique in the world, being the only one where the instrument landing system guides the pilot only part of the way. The aeroplane is flown directly towards a large board called the checkerboard, mounted on the side of a hill. It is the pilot's responsibility to execute a precise 47-degree turn at exactly the right moment and the right height in order to align the aircraft with the runway and complete a safe landing. For first-timers, pilots and passengers alike, the experience is breathtaking. Every time it is exciting. With 28 million passengers passing through Kai Tak last year on 60 different airlines, it is a tribute to the skill of the controllers and pilots that there have been very few incidents in the history of the airport. Kai Tak has been home to Cathay Pacific Airways for 53 years. The airline was founded by American Roy Farrell and Australian Sid de Cansau, who had moved their import-export business from Shanghai to Hong Kong. Their first aircraft was a military DC-3 called Betsy, which they used to ferry wool from Australia to China. Later, the airline built its reputation on flying shipments of gold to Macau. During one such trip in 1948, the world's first recorded hijacking took place, where the would-be gold robbers made the classic mistake of shooting both the pilots, with the inevitable consequence that the plane crashed into the sea. Since those early times, Cathay has grown to be one of the world's greatest airlines, serving 63 cities around the globe with a modern fleet of more than 50 Boeings and Airbuses. The approach to Kai Tak from the west takes us over Lantau Island and Discovery Bay, where I used to live. From there, the localizer of the IGS is captured and the initial stages of the approach take place over the western harbour, passing Peng Chau Island. Later on, we will pass overhead Sing Yi Island and the outer marker, on to Yau Ma Tei and then across the Kowloon Peninsula. In the final stages of the approach, we will see Hong Kong Island itself across the harbour before the aircraft commences its steep, low-level turn towards the runway. For one last time, let's stay with Singapore Airlines flight SQ860 as it completes its approach to Kai Tak's runway 13 just a few days before the airport closed. Let's relive the thrill and precision of one of the greatest aviation landmarks of the 20th century as we remember the sights and sounds of the approach and landing at Hong Kong's Kai Tak Airport.
Bring the speed back now on schedule. Gear down, please. Armed. Okay. And the autopilot's coming out. Or the throttle coming out. Down the marker. I am visual.
Airport, Hong Kong. The local time is 12:15 in the afternoon and the temperature is 32 degrees Celsius, 94 degrees Fahrenheit. For your safety, please stay in your seat until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Handphones may be used only when you are inside the terminal. Please take care when opening the overhead compartments as the contents may have moved during the flight. Before you leave the aircraft, please check that you have all the hand luggage with you and make sure that nothing is left in the seat pocket or under your seat. If you need any assistance at the airport, please feel free to approach one of our ground staff or a representative of our service partner, Cathay Pacific Airways. We hope you've enjoyed your flight and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you for flying Singapore Airlines.
manual, please. Thank you.